how to create great YouTube videos to promote your pest control business, all on this edition of the Pest Geek Podcast. Pull out your hose and grab your can. We're about to integrate another Pest Geek Podcast. Hi, everybody. Frank Hernandez here, and welcome to the Pest Geek Podcast, bringing you the latest information on pests, products, and politics from today's leading industry sources to help you start, manage, and grow your pest control business. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of the Pest Geek Podcast. I am your host, Frank Hernandez. Glad to be back. I know I've been absent for 2 weeks. We've been up to our ears in alligators, both good and bad. But we are back on the air. Thankfully, it's only business issues. It's not personal. It's not family. Nobody's sick. Other than your usual colds and stuff, but nobody's ill and the family is good. We can just be thankful for that, but we're in the middle of growing, and growing, let me tell you, it's painful, having growth pains, in areas that you haven't grown in before. And on top of that, you have, problems and issues that come up that are out of your control in business. And, like we had a vehicle accident and one of our vehicles was down for a month and a half trying to get a body shop in Miami to fix a vehicle. In a week or two is good luck with that. The good shops are all booked for 2 to 3 weeks out before they can look at your vehicle. And by the time they get it taken apart, inventoried, and get the work order ready and get the parts in, you're looking at a month and a half. We had one accident several months ago that we were rear-ended in another vehicle, and it was 3 months in the shop before we can get that one out. So it's been just crazy. And in the state of Florida, the issue is that you're not allowed to run around with vehicles to doing pest control without permanent signage. So, you can't just go rent a truck and do your pest control and put on some magnetics. You have to get... and then second, you can't just go rent a truck and load it up with chemicals and have it contaminated so they can rent it to somebody else. So we had to purchase another vehicle, get that one ready, and do partial work because we couldn't do all the work. A lot of landscape work that I do, a lot of pump fertilizing and things like that. So it just gets very, very different. And you're in the middle of a growing, and, a big wig personality gives me a call a couple weeks ago. She's been doing a ton of, she's kind of like the plant guru down here. And her and her husband were doing that for years, and they gave us a call and said, hey, I got this giant property that I need pest control done to do a proposal. And it's not one property, it's 9. And these are like small hospitals. They're private clinics, and it takes to do literally hundreds of thousands of square feet of shrubbery and lawn, and it took us weeks to just inventory that and get a proposal together to really do it right, because they're really picky and they want done right. They don't want what they've been having, and it takes a while to look at all those trees and shrubs. And these are like, small hospitals, but really high end. The only thing they're missing is the patient rooms. They don't, they have everything else in there. And we've just been working on that, and I've been putting in 12 hour days in the field alone. Normally I don't do that. Normally I'm in the field 6 to 8 hours a day tops. I'm mostly 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours I'm in the field. And then I'm mostly doing marketing or doing sales or doing something else, but actual production work, I'm in the field very little. And, it takes a toll on you when you're working 6 days straight, 12 hours a day in the field, and you don't have much time for nothing else. And this podcast takes a long time to produce for me. It takes about anywhere between 4 to 8 hours to produce on a weekly basis. The actual recording and production is the easy part. I can get that done in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we're broadcasting it. But it's the content, creating the content for it, coming up with something that you want to share, that thinking it through. And usually I'm thinking it through during the week, and I'm noodling it in my head, things that I've come up with, and then it's just a matter of putting it out on paper. But being so busy, I just don't have time to think, and I don't do two things very well. I don't do physical and mental. So I have to choose to do one or the other, because I can't be out in the field doing the physical work and, the stuff that is required, and then also doing creative work. So I can only do I got to focus on creative work, because the technical part in the field is a no-brainer for me. I can pretty much do that with my eyes closed, just putting in the hours. So, that's where I've been for 2 weeks. I've just been really swamped, and thank God that we're good. But wanted to talk to you about how to create YouTube videos for your pest control business, how to make it actually get out there and create business for you and create calls and things like that. And there are many things that you can do as a pest control company, if you're not on YouTube, to be on there and to have at least, a dozen videos or so to, get promotional material out there. Before I do that, I want to thank a couple of people this week. John Purcell, the co-owner of Superior Pest Management, liked us and follow us on Facebook. Thank you so much for following us. And Green and Gone, at Green and Gone on Twitter, following us also, and PMP Magazine also following us this week. Thank you all for following us, and I wish you just a shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for that. Also, if you're listening to us wherever you're listening to us, whatever platform it is, whether it's iTunes, whether it's Stitcher, whether it's a Podcast Addict, we're on every platform. Do me a favor and just leave us a rating and a review. We really do appreciate that. That really does help us get this podcast running and getting people to know that we're here and getting us ranked and all that good stuff. So we really, really do appreciate you doing that for us. Also, if you want to come on the podcast, you want to join us, you want to be a guest, you have something to contribute, you want to tell me, Frank, you're full of it, give me a line, 707-395-7378. And remember, join the Pest Geek Society. You can now join for free. There's no admission fee there, and we have content that's available only for the Pest Geek Society. So go ahead and register. We're going to be putting up some neat things. Thank you all who have been listening to the podcast and things that I promised to put up there that I just haven't had the chance to. I'm going to get it up there. And some people calling us about the budget projection sheet that we were going to do. We're going to get that up there. I just haven't had a chance to really work on it and getting it prepared so that you can use it as an Excel file with all the numbers in and all the formulations. It does take a little bit of work to do that. I have one, but mine is automated, so I don't have to redo it. But I'm going to go ahead and get that done for you because I know you guys have been wanting that to compare your pricing and percentages and things like that. For your business. So yeah, thank you for reaching out to us on that. Thank you for all those who reached out to us wondering where we were, if we were okay. And yes, we're back, and I'm hoping I can just continue to do this on a weekly basis and make the time for it, because that's what I really do. I make the time for it to make it happen. So thank you all. I wanted also to thank James Rodriguez. On Sunday morning at about 10 a.m., he posted this on Facebook. And I thought that was really inspirational, and I think as a tech tip, this will be great for you. He says, I'm going to share how I eliminate stress, not in any order and not absolute. And he gives a list of 10 things that he does. And he says, number one, I watch very little TV. I do too. I don't watch a whole lot of television. So, that's a great tip. You spend a lot of time in front of that tube, getting mind numbed, doesn't help with your stress, especially if you watch the news and then go to bed. It doesn't really help. Exercise. Yes, man, I have to get back to working out. I actually was thinking over the weekend, now that I've gotten some stuff off my plate, I'm going to get back to working out. He says, number 3, encourage others to be positive. I think that is so important. That's one of the things that people want to be around me, is because I'm always trying to encourage people. And you want to be around people like that. And I said, avoid negative people. That's number 4. So yes, Definitely, I avoid negative people like the plague. I do not have time for them in my life. If you're negative and you just want to be negative around I don't want to be around you. I don't want that vibe on me. Be thankful every morning. You're thankful that you just woke up. And yes, I think that is number 5. And then number 6, find ways to better yourself all the time. Always find something. When I'm not growing and I'm stagnant, I get so depressed. I need to be constantly challenged and pushed in order to be truly happy. I just get really bored and really tired of doing the same old thing. Take advice from people who are smarter than me or smarter than you. Yes, I think that's vitally important, that you have a teachable spirit and that you're always open to learn from somebody. Listen to happy people and their stories. I think that is awesome. Number 9, appreciate success of others. Yes, envy will destroy you. It will make you unhappy. So you need to appreciate when others besides you are successful, and believe in a higher power. My belief is in the Lord Jesus Christ. So, that is absolutely vital to my life. And I don't think I'd be where I am today without my salvation. So I'm thankful for that. And so these are the ways that you eliminate stress. Ask your friends and you might learn something. So share it. It was on Facebook, and go ahead and share this with other people. And thank you, James, for that. Really, really do appreciate you putting that out there. In the pest news, we got a new fly from the Great Smoky Mountains National Park was found. And it was found 10 years ago. It just didn't know what the heck he had. And so a new article by Michael Farrell and John Placidus, I'm thinking that's the way it's pronounced, describes a new species of fly that was collected in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Oh, Stenoptera, I think I got. Appalachianus. Okay. And it's a gall mite. And, they collected it and they were doing it. And it wasn't until they posted it on a site that I think I put a link to that site here. Anyway, it's in the notes. You can check it out. They were able to find out what the heck they had 10 years at bugguide.net. That's where they posted it. And I think it's a great site. Check out bugguide.net to look at interesting species on there of bugs. But yeah, there's a link to this article. Check out the original article. It's pretty neat, man. You can have something and not know what you're dealing with, and they're discovering new insects and new pests all the time. Well, the NPMA Pest World in Washington is done, and now we can look forward to Pest World 2017 in Baltimore, Maryland, and also in 2018 in Orlando, Florida, and 2020 in Nashville, Tennessee. Yay! I can't wait 2 years to be able to go and find out what the heck you guys are talking about. Guys, put it on iTunes so the rest of the world can listen to it. I know there's people who are going to enjoy getting the information only, and that's it. And they're not going to want to go anywhere, pay for a trip, pay for a hotel. They don't want the camaraderie. They're hermits. They want to, there's all kinds of people. Hashtag NPMA Pest World iTunes. Get it out on iTunes, guys, so the whole world can listen to these conferences and pay for them, and you can make a boatload of money off of this. Looking forward to the Orlando one in 2 years. I hope, the Lord hasn't come for me and I'm still alive so I can go and enjoy it. In the meantime, get it out on iTunes. Mergers and acquisitions. What a month for mergers and acquisitions, man. Arrow Exterminators acquires Whitco Pest Management in Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. There's a link to it from Arrow Exterminators. Massey acquires EcoShield in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. OKC. Man, I love OKC. I've been in OKC twice, and I was at down right in Oklahoma City, right next to the stockyard. And let me tell you, if you are near Oklahoma City and you're anywhere close, there's a place called Cattleman's Ranch in Oklahoma City, and it's right there in the stockyard. just a couple of minutes in. And let me tell you something. I went there and I've had 2 other presidential porterhouse steaks. That place is amazing. It's about 100 and something year old restaurant, saloon in a wooden building in the stockyard. And it's a really impressive building to go to. It's really nice. The food is just amazing. That steak, if you put steak sauce on it, you will ruin it. So get yourself to Cattleman's Ranch. Look them up. They're in OKC. By the way, OKC has some of the best tasting tap water also that I've ever tasted. I come from Florida. Mine tastes like chlorinated sewer water. Hideous water here in Florida, by the way. But I've been to New York. New York has great tasting water too. And Oklahoma has awesome tasting. I mean, I tasted this water and I was like, I drank a glass from the tap and I'm like, dang, this is good water, man. I mean, you drink it and like, to call water good, from a tap, it's weird, but hey, it's just amazing the way it tastes. So, thanks Oklahoma, for Cattleman's Ranch and darn good water. SCG Partners acquires 3 Florida landscape maintenance companies. Yeah, landscape companies, mergers and acquisitions, just like pest controls, are big right now. And for the same reason, they can't grow a whole lot more. It's very hard to grow. So a lot of the companies are being bought up. Rent-A-Kill acquires Isotech Pest Management out of California, acquires the Verminators. If you ever watched the series, The Verminators, Isotech was the company that was in that show. And they bought it somewhere, I think about $12.5 million it was sold for. So yes, Rent-A-Kill now owns Isotech. It's ISO Tech out of California. And there's a bunch of links to all this if you want to read about it. In the book of the week, I wanted to share The Buying Brain, Secrets for Selling to the Subconscious Mind by A.K. Pradeep. It's a great book. If you've never gotten into the issue of neuroscience and how neuroscience is used to get you to buy products, it's a great book on understanding really how this works. It doesn't tell you exactly how they do it, what words they use, what specific analysis, but this is a lab that A.K. Pradeep has, and they've been doing work for years on studying the brain and marketing, and they develop marketing campaigns for mega companies. So everything down to store environment, how to lay out, how to, word things right. It's a great book for you to understand how that marketing works and for you to get exposed to it. And then you can from there do some more serious study on it. But I think it's a great book to get you introduced to that subject. I think it's phenomenal. Well, getting to our main topic, I wanted to talk about creating YouTube videos. And I've done quite a bit of YouTube videos in the past. I've done probably close to over 150 videos for YouTube for different sites that I have. And for the pest control business, I've done quite a bit, a lot of instructional videos on plants and shrubs and pest control. And we're getting we're getting ranked. And it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight, and no one single strategy is going to work. So you got to use multiple strategies in marketing to get your name out there and your brand. But YouTube videos is a great way to do that. And most people are intimidated by YouTube videos and doing videos because they have the 2 biggest excuses in the world. Number one is, I don't know how. It's too complicated. It seems like it would take forever. Production does take a while. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say you can have a video up and running with bumpers and all the bells and whistles, and you're going to have it up in 10 minutes. You can do certain types of videos that you can do that, but if you want to brand it and do all that, it's going to take a little bit of work. The number 2 excuse, probably the one that people are most afraid of, is being in front of a camera and talking. Public speaking and being in front of a camera could be, for a lot of people, nerve-wracking. And I can understand that. I used to be that way. But you can learn to do different videos with different tactics and different things that don't even require you to be personally on camera. So there are things you can do, things you shouldn't do in video, and we're going to be discussing that. So most of the time people are just afraid. They're afraid of, what if they make a mistake? I have people all the time, I ask, hey, why don't you come on the podcast, man? And, you can talk about your first year in business, or you can talk about your 10 years in business. You can talk about, what you've done. It's like, no, I stutter and I stick my foot in my mouth, and I'm really afraid of the microphone. And it's like, dude, it's just like having a conversation on the phone, except I'm recording it. And that whole concept of being recorded, and that it's permanent, and that if you say the wrong thing, it's out there forever. Well, that's what editing is for. And you can make a lot of mistakes and you can edit. And when I do a video, I probably do maybe anywhere between, if I nail it and I'm that good on the first shot, I nail it on the first shot. But normally I'm going to do about 5 to 10 takes on a video. And then I might use little bits and pieces from one to the other and edit it together. But, I got to be honest, I've done this for a living. And I used to do video production and television production, and I used to do the technical aspect of it. So I'm really familiar with what I'm doing, but I can tell you what to avoid and what not to do to keep it simple, because the whole idea is simplicity. Everything is, the hardest part about getting things done is reducing it to the ridiculous, keeping everything simple. Some tools that you're going to need. Okay, here's what you're going to need for tools. A smartphone. I don't care what smartphone you use. I don't care if it's an Android. I don't care if it's an Apple product. If you can get a phone preferably with 1080p, then you're going to do very good quality video. You don't have to go out and buy an expensive camera. I've done it with everything from an iPhone 3 to an iPhone 6, a tablet. We've done actually green screening from iPhone. I've done green screening from an iPhone. I've done green screening from a tablet. It can be done. You just got to know a little bit of what you're doing and have some time to throw at it. Okay. You really do need to, at the beginning. It's like anything else. You want to build a website. You got to learn the curves. You want to do SEO. You're going to have to put in the time. Anything that you want to do yourself that you're not an expert at, you're going to have to be prepared to put in the time. So, a 5-minute video for me, that I do a 8 to 10 minute video. Editing and production could be anywhere, writing the script and getting it ready, anywhere that 5 minutes is going to take me 2 to 8 hours to produce, depending on how much quality I want to put into it. And, but you can do some simple stuff and then work on getting more complex videos done. Now, you'll need a smartphone. You might need a video conversion app to convert that video from one format to another. If you're using iPhone and the video format, that iPhone, unless you're using an Apple editing software, then you don't have to convert it. But if you're going to be using a Windows, then you'll have to get a conversion software. I'm going to drop a link in there on the one I've been using to convert. I use a lot of professional products. I have a whole suite from Adobe to do, Photoshop, to do Illustrator, to do, Premiere Pro. And I've been doing that for a long time, and it's a very old app, but it still works. So this thing is in the thousands now to buy it. But video conversion apps, you can get them. If you shoot the video sideways and you want to put it to right side, you got a little conversion app that you can do for that. Very simple. Simple tripod. Very simple tripod, like the cheapest thing you can get, $29 tripod. As long as you can get it up to about 5 feet tall. And a smartphone mount. I got one on here on the notes from B&H Video. That's really great because it'll do even a large phone, like a 3.5-inch phone, that it can hold it to a tripod. So then if you can just hold it on there. And then a microphone. Well, if you're going to be directly in front of that mic, being a talking head, Rode makes a great little video mic for smartphone, $59 for that mic, and it's like a boom mic. For the they also got a really professional boom mic for an iPhone. It's in that one's about $200, but this one will do great if you're going to be within a foot or two from that camera. and you're not going to be too far. If you're going to be a little bit far away and you want to do the lavalier mic, the lapel mic that you put on your shirt, Audio-Technica makes a great microphone. I've used those microphones for a decade now, and they're great microphones. They're like $29. Omnidirectional condenser lavalier microphone. You can just plug it right into the iPhone and record, or from any smartphone, to be able to use it. And they're like $29, and then you can put them through your shirt, and you look like a real professional talking into that camera. So that is the equipment that you're going to need. So if you got a smartphone and maybe another $100 to throw into it for tripod, mount and microphone. Do outdoor videos are awesome to do outdoor videos because you don't need any lighting to be able to do outdoor videos. And in indoor videos, you might need some additional lighting. And what I do is I just use incandescent bulbs, or I use the new low power wattage, and I create about 1,000-watt system that about 10 bulbs to get everything lit around me, and a couple $100 I spent on that. But you can do it yourself, or you can buy some professional lighting if you want to do indoor. But just to start out, you don't have to spend that much money to be able to do it. And what do you need to edit? Well, if you're a Windows computer, hey, My Movie Maker from Windows that comes standard is great to do that. You don't need an expensive software. It works just fine. If you've got an Android phone and you're doing Windows Media Video, there's no conversion that needs to be done, so you can do it right there. You can just import the video and get it edited and get it cut and all that, and play around with it and do some things there. So there's not a whole lot that you need to do there. Now, what I would recommend is that you spend some time creating at least some 30-second bumpers. And these are known as intros and outros. These are what you see at the first part of that video, and then like a little commercial video, and then on the out part. And you can get those done really with Fiverr for $5 to $20. You can probably get somebody to make you some 30-second intros that are really simple with your logo and some background music and a fade in and a fade out, and then you can just slap those to all of the ends of all of your videos, and then you have you can control the branding on it, so that you have the same look on all of them. Then you could probably create what is known as a 10-second pattern interrupt. And these are what, I put in the introductions to the videos of my videos to interrupt the pattern to get you to start thinking in a different way of what I'm going into. You can also get these done on Fiverr. So Fiverr is, by the way, is FIVRR.com. For $5, you can get a lot of things done there. Now, in order for you to get these guys to work with you on Fiverr, you pretty much have to, you got to be very simple. Like I said, you got to break it down to the ridiculous. You can't make it overcomplicated. These guys know what they're doing, but in order to get it done for $5, these things have to be real simple. And so what I can do, for one video, I can get somebody to do, maybe the logo and put it on there, and then somebody to do the editing. So you're going to spend $15, $20, but you'll have an end product that you're happy with. If you know somebody that can do that work, editing hours, it can add up from $25 to $55 an hour for somebody to sit there and make something for you. I did my own intro and outro. It took me about 4 hours to work on it, and I used it for all of them. And I forgot which software I used in Adobe After Effects. I think that's what I used, After Effects, to make it. And that's it. And it took a couple hours, but I kind of know what I'm doing, so I can work with it. Get your kids involved. Get some kids involved, because kids are great at this stuff. They love doing it. They love going out and doing the camera work, and they're into this, okay? And you can get your kids to do a lot of work for you for free. So that's one of the things that you want to do to get a video. So now you got a little video together. You got an idea. You want to do a video on rodents. You want to do a video on roaches. You want to do a video on ceiling. Whatever it is that you want to do a video on, you got to have some things in that video. All right, number one is you need to do your keyword research. And I just finished doing a video, a screenshot of how to do keyword research for video with AdWords. Okay, and I'm going to put the video into this so you can watch it and see how that's actually done, the keyword research to do it. But once you've done your keyword research, then you need to get a good headline that's an attention grabber and that's keyword rich. Okay. Once you do that, then you can get your main content. What is it that you're going to be talking about in the video? And then you need a call to action. Now, you can have one call to action, two call to action. You don't want 5 calls to action. You got people doing all kinds of stuff in this video, and they're going to go nuts and quit on you. So you need maybe one call to action. Now, what is a call to action? Is something you want them to do after they've watched the video. So if you are doing a video on how to do sealing and how to do rodent proofing and how you do rodent proofing or how the customer can do rodent proofing, then the next thing is, well, you might want to give us a like. Will you give us a like on this video? And you will be surprised how many people, like 80% of people will give you likes and you get your video to rank. If your people don't get rank and you don't get likes on that video, guess what? Google and YouTube and everybody says you're irrelevant. Nobody cares for your material. But if you can get people to like it, then you get ranked. And you got to be able to do that and tell people, get people used to doing things on your videos, because then it becomes a lot easier to get them to, when you need them to buy something, to get them to buy. So subscribe to the channel. That could be one, and like. So on all my videos, I almost put subscribe and like to all of my videos. Now, we've got our YouTube channel. We just started it a year and a half ago, 2 years, I think. And we've got about 70,000 views, 400 and something subscribers. And I got videos that have done 14, 15,000 views. And so it takes a while, but it does work. And the idea is to get enough data that then you know what people are really wanting. And then you start producing more videos in that category to get more likes and more shares and more views. So call the number on your screen. That's a call to action. Go to our website, click the link, do something that gets them to do something, to go to your website and check out your pricing. So if you want to talk about, hey, we got pricing, upfront pricing on our website, click here, then people will click to get the price. Share the video, get them to share it. If you are doing something that you think can benefit other people and it's free and they don't have to commit to pretty much nothing, get them to share it. Selecting your thumbnail is very, very important, because what you don't want is a perfect thumbnail. You want about something that looks off, something that is goofy, something that has people will click on stuff that looks odd. You'll get more clicks on your video if you try to make this thing where it looks so pristine that it looks like, Procter & Gamble made it. You probably won't get a lot of views. But if you get something goofy on there that looks goofy, that looks odd, a strange face, your eyes are closed, you look like you're gagging or something, that's what people is, it's contrary to what you think, but that's what most people click on. So those are things that you want to look at for preparing your video. And none of this has to do with technique. It has to do with, what it is that you're wanting to do. What type of video? How long should you do your video? Probably around 5 to 8 minutes. You want to keep it around that 5-minute mark. Shorter videos do better than longer videos, unless somebody's buying a tutorial, a really long tutorial, how to conquer every pest problem in your home, and they're looking for that, and they want to spend an hour and a half conquering every pest problem, then that's what you want to do. But if not, you want to keep your video short. I keep them around 5 minutes. Some of my longer ones are running 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes. Then some shorter ones, which are mostly promo videos, probably about 1.5 minutes. Nothing more than that. How-to videos are the most popular videos. People want to know how to do stuff themselves. Now, here's the problem with the pest control industry and understanding the new media world. How much stuff do you give away before you give away the farm and you don't make any money? What you have to learn is that in a new media world, and I talked about this before, content is king. And free is still the number one word in marketing. If you can give enough people what they want, you will get what you want. And what you got to realize is that 90% of people that come up, 99, I would say 99, and I'm going to go as far as 99.9% of the people that ever come across a how-to video are going to attempt to do it themselves, and they're never going to call a company. We already know that 20% of people, homeowners, use pest control. 80% are never going to do it. And it doesn't matter if you don't tell them or somebody else doesn't tell them. They're still going to attempt to do it themselves. And no matter how many times they fail, they're going to do it themselves. It's just the way it is. People in public housing are never going to do it, never going to call you. They're going to do it themselves. So the question then becomes, do you become the most informative company out there that gives the people in your community the most information for free? So you can't spend an hour on the phone with everybody, but you can tell people, listen, I got a video on that. Go watch it. And by the way, give us a like and give us a share. And then you can get ranked for that video instead of trying to tell everybody how they're going to do everything. But you got to be able to give content away for free in order to get people to follow you and like you, and then potentially maybe tell somebody about you, or say, I've already tried it. It doesn't work for me. I need to call a professional. I'm going to call him. Or like in my case, I do a lot of articles and a lot of things with plants that people are trying to figure out. And when I show them the video, they realize why they're not getting control and why they need to call me. And I give them away the product, and I say, look, but that bottle is $300. They're not going to buy that bottle for $300 to solve that problem. So how-to videos are probably your best. You want to do maybe a couple and show people how to solve some real problems with a couple of those videos. And, when somebody looks at how hard it really is to do a bed bug job, they're going to call you. I have no problem with that. How do you perform your service? And this is a very, very popular video to show people exactly how it is that you perform your service. But aren't you afraid that your competition is going to take that information and then start doing the same thing? Listen, if my competition wanted to do what I do is not that impressive. The problem is they're not willing to put in the time or the effort to do IPM. This is why I'm so successful with IPM in Florida, is because 99% of the people are spray and pray companies. They don't want anything to do with IPM. Even if I told them what chemical to use, exactly how to do the service, took them by the hand and showed them, they still wouldn't do it. Their excuse is that takes too long and nobody's willing to pay for it. That's why I do what I do, because I know that very few people can actually get it done. So how do you perform your service? Well, you might want to tell people how you show them how you clean their eaves, how you remove cobwebs, how you remove the wasp nest, how you do this and how you do that. All these little value-added things that you do that maybe their competition isn't doing. And so that's I got a couple of videos that I actually selected that I thought were awesome for this. And I put videos on the website. So if you go to the blog post on the website for this show, instead of listening to it on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you're listening to it, you go to the actual website. You can see the videos of these companies and what they did. Help people diagnose a problem. You might want to show people this is how you detect if you have bed bugs. This is how you do, to find out, take a pencil and show them how a rat can go through a hole in the wall. Mice, through a 1/4-inch hole or through a 1/2-inch hole. Something that helps them diagnose a problem. Another one would be a great one is a customer testimony. You can get your customers to do video testimony for you. The best way to do it is to request it and have them just take it themselves and send it to you. And you can offer them and say, look, I know it takes time to do this. I'll offer you a free service or whatever to do it. But, that's a great way to get your customers to give a testimony on their own phone, send you the video, and then you can use it. So I got video samples of all this. A doodle video, sketching videos are very, very good. You're going to pay, you're not going to get it done on Fiverr for $5, but you can get a really good video that you can use commercially. I don't know, somewhere around $40 to $100. and that video is done for you, and then you can just post it on YouTube. Just make sure you got the license from them to be able to publish it and freely, and then not have to pay for royalties and things like that. But you can do something like that. And make sure that if you're going to be videotaping on customers' property, that you either do get permission or that you do it in a place where permission is. Like, you don't want to record in front of a museum that is having issues with copyright infringement and anything like that. Any music that you use, make sure the music is royalty-free music, because YouTube will ID it and they will nail you for copyright infringement, and they will block your videos. So those are things that you want to look at. You want to make sure the images you use, you have permission to use them. So if you're using pictures, they're your pictures. We take all of our pictures, we take all of our video. That way we don't have to buy it or tell anybody what we're going to be doing with it. So those are the things that you want to consider when doing a video. And then now let's talk about local SEO. Local SEO for your video. A lot of people put up videos, but they don't SEO that video correctly, and it really isn't being found. And what you want to focus on is, you don't want somebody from Canada. I mean, they're going to. That's not the point. Looking at your video, that is, if you're not in Canada. I mean, if I'm down in Florida, I don't care for somebody in Canada to watch my videos, unless they're going to give me likes and shares and things like that, and then just get the rewards from that. But I really want local people to find me. So you have to SEO it, search engine optimize it for local. And one of the tools you're going to use is Google AdWords tool. But Google AdWords has two tools. It has a keyword planner, and then it has what is known as a display planner. Instead of calling it a YouTube video planner, they called it a display planner. Most people don't know what the heck it is. But what you're doing is, you're doing Google research on what people are putting into basically YouTube. And in order for your videos to rank, in order for your content to rank, you got to write in such a way that you're writing for two people. You're writing for the search engines, and you're writing for humans that are actually going to read it. And that's the way you have to optimize all of your pages, so that they're able to be found by the search engines and by people searching for them. And then once somebody gets that page, they can actually read it. So that's what you're using, and that's what you're going to do. Find new targeting ideas. And I have a whole video I did on this. I'm going to put it on this page on the site, so you can actually go to it and watch it and kind of understand how that works. But you're going to have to optimize the content, the tags, the header for that, just like if you were doing a page. If you've never done a blog page, it's not that hard, but you have to put in a little work. So in order for you to find the right keywords, you find the right, tag to create the right script for it. And what I do for writing scripts for my videos is I use one phrase or one sentence lines, and I only memorize sentence lines, and then I go right down. So we might only use a page single spaced with for a 10-15 minute video of 10-15 things I'm going to say in that video, and that's it. I'm not going to say a whole lot when I'm on there, because I'm limited by time. So you have to rehearse it in front of the mirror, and you have to memorize it. And what I do is I memorize one at a time. Sometimes I memorize 3, and then I do 3 cuts. And then, I splice it together, and it's seamless. You can't tell, what was happening there. But that's what you do. I mean, you can get it on there. You can help it to rank. I get a lot of calls, at least 2 to 3 calls a month from somebody who saw my videos, and they're starting to rank even more. And now I'm going into where I'm going to start in the next couple of weeks, planning on doing at least another 5 or 6 videos to put out, because that's where our marketing is. So you either have the money or you spend the time building the brand yourself. And it's very expensive when you start telling people, I want to do a video, and they say, that's excellent. It's only going to cost you $400 a minute. So, 8-minute video, that's, a couple grand for them to produce it. And that's ridiculous when you can do a lot of things. And here's what I've discovered, that some of my worst edited videos. I got videos that the wind is so loud, it's obnoxious. And it has the most views, and it has likes, and it has shares, because people appreciated the content. They realized that I wasn't trying to be sharp and slick and perfect, that I was really trying to help them and communicate information. And what you want to come across as genuine as you can. Be genuine and be really interested in helping people, because you will get enough of what you want in life if you help other people get what they want. And I know what the attitude of a lot of people listening to a podcast like this being, well, we just can't tell people how we do it because then they're going to do it themselves. Guess what? They're going to do it themselves anyway. You might as well get the 4%, 5% that aren't going to do it, that say this is too much work, it's too much hassle, I'm just going to hire a pro, and you're the guy that's giving me the most info, I'll go with you. That's what you're going for. You're not going to 100% of those people to convert and give you a call. You're going to convert maybe 0.1% of all the videos. Now, how many views are you going to get on your video in a year? Well, the average video, we get anywhere between 50 and 60 views a year on each video. Okay. So what we realize is it's really like anything else. It's a numbers game. You're going to have to put out enough videos to get enough calls on different subjects. So, we've got 30 something videos right now on our business page for YouTube. And, that's gotten us 74,000 views. What we realize is, hey, we got to do about 10 other targeted videos, to get, within the next year to get into that, to get those calls. And so it's really, if you got 100 videos and there are 50 calls, 50 views a year, that's 100, that's 50,000 views that you're going to get. And if you get 1% of that, well, it's 50 calls a year, off those videos. And it keeps growing and growing until you get more and more. And then, you've created a machine that produces money for you. That's what the issue is creating synergy. You got to create synergy in all of these videos. Not one ad campaign, not one billboard, not one sign on a truck, not one radio advertising, not one yellow page ad, not one blog post is going to make it for you. You got to do 1,000 little things over a long period of time to see the results. And that's where people just quit. They're like, it's too much work. It's too much hassle. Then one thing was working for them. It's the only thing they ever used. And all of a sudden it's not working anymore. And now the phone is dead and the phone isn't ringing because you focused on just one thing and somebody else figured it out and they're using it too. And now you're no longer getting the calls that you were getting before. So that's where, where you have to do a lot of little things, to make things happen in marketing. And that would be why, what I would wish you would do, and focus on the local area, your local city, by using targeted keywords. Check out the video I'm putting on there, guys. We did it this morning and it should be ready by the time I finish this podcast, and we should be able to get it on the air in a couple of hours. But go ahead and listen to it. Really do appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate all the calls, appreciate all the email messages, the IMs, people concerned about us and thanking us for what we're doing and wishing we were on the air. Great to be here again. And guys, I look forward to talking to you next week. Until next time, hey, you have a great one. Thank you for listening to the Pest Geek Podcast. If you have enjoyed the Pest Geek Podcast, please give us a rating, write a review, or subscribe to the channel. You can join the Pest Geek Society by visiting pestgeekpodcast.com. Thank you for listening. See you next time.